Get in the middle. Lifestyle here, child of God. Greetings to you, salutations to you. How are you? And all praise be to the Most High God. Greetings, greetings. How are you, family? How y'all doing out there? I came to talk about today's topics. Um, we're getting closer to whatever's going to happen. Things are intensifying. Um, I appreciate y'all so much. Um, I haven't been getting so many subscribers or likes like I have usually gotten in the past, but I haven't been also popping up on my channel as much as I usually do. Definitely trying to do some things in my personal life and then manifest them, right? Also, seeing that, watching people, I literally just watched somebody on a big streaming podcast say one of my ideas that I had presented. I actually talked to some high up business professionals about, and and it's just like, damn, how were you in that same space as me? That's impossible. Nobody thinks I know that is a mole somewhere around here, or there's got to be people listening in somewhere, because there's no way that you would just present the same idea as me. This idea is so unique, you don't just do that. And I actually reached out to the person and asked them, what's going on with that, because yeah, don't be stealing my ideas. Anyways, let's get into today's topic, shall we? Okay, the biggest thing right now that you're seeing everywhere is the Mexican cartels. Now, basically what happened, family, is that we gave intel to Mexico's military, and Mexico's military annihilated El Mencho. Um, they 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 assassinated him. I think they were just trying to capture him, but they killed El Mencho, right? So the Mexican cartels are all over the news. There have been reports of different things. I haven't seen some of these mainstream yet, but there have been reports that some U.S. citizens have been killed and that some U.S. citizens have been kidnapped. Um, this is very, very dangerous. And I've been telling people, don't go to Mexico, don't actually travel outside the United States since like 2022, because these other nations are actually very, very nasty to us in other places. What's going on, Cool Roaster? Oh man, what's up, Cool Roaster? Is that how I pronounce it? Or was it? Yeah. Anywho, um, and now there's a ban from going to Mexico, but also the people that are American citizens are trapped in Mexico right now. Hannah Cakes, hi Hannah Cakes. They're trapped in Mexico right now. They cannot leave. There have been interviews and different things I've seen online. They're okay, but everybody in Mexico is worried right now. Everybody is told to stay in the house. I should have named this theme of this podcast "Stay in the House," because the next couple of things we're gonna go down the line, you're gonna be like, I need to stay in the house. But these Mexican cartels are going to, they're lashing out. First of all, Mexican cartels, or cartels in general, they more than likely they have infinite finances. You go online, right, and you think that you're looking at the Mexican military. No, you're looking at cartel members dressed down from foot head to toe in serious armor and gear and weaponry. These are the drug dealers, right, that look like military soldiers, right? They look like uh, Navy SEALs, right? The damn Mexican cartel. But that's how much money they got. They got vehicles that look like they belong to the police and everything like that. That shit is scary, dog. And people should be like, whoa, like that shit is, yeah. I feel for people in Mexico right now, the people in Mexico, the United States military and the Mexican military. How damn dare you be so inconsiderate about other people's lives and not doing secret evacuations of those areas if you were going to take out a Mexican cartel leader and knowing that the cartel is going to fight back. They goddamn blew up a whole airplane or airport. They've been demolishing cars left and right. This thing is interesting. But my warning to America is that understand this: these cartels, Mexican or not, they got more power in the United States than they do in their own countries. They got more power in the United States than they have in their own countries. Well, Lifestyle, what are you talking about? Well, what I'm saying is this: there are a lot of drug dealers in America. In America, we immortalize drug mentality, street mentality. We immortalize that shit. We love it. All the bad women, meaning all the women that look super fine and good, they lift up people that are involved in criminal industry, right? This is our culture in America. America was built on crime. It will always be built on crime. We love crime in America, even though we'll lock your ass up for it. We love crime in America. And so these cartels have more power in America. So you better believe. Now, quick insert before I get to the you better believe part. This particular cartel leader, he was bringing in fentanyl. Now, you know we're at war with the fentanyl, right? But he was bringing in a lot of that fentanyl and the methamphetamine stuff, right, into America. But what I wanted to warn you, you better be aware that these cartels are going to attack us in America to let a message be known. So while they telling you stay in the house in Mexico, your ass better stay in the house in America. You better believe that if they can embed their people into hotels and resorts and to local businesses, and you think that you're going to get a El Sandwich, you know what I mean? Not knowing that you getting a sandwich made by cartel members, that they watching you at all times. You better believe that they in America doing the same daggone thing. You better believe it. You're talking about Fortune 500 companies. Okay, these are billionaires out of drug money. You talking about Epstein files. The cartels have everything, have all evidence, and have the money to pay for information. What? You're kidding me. Like you better believe that we definitely made an uncalculated move doing what we did. This was not calculated, right? Because there should have, if it was a calculated move, there would have been a minimization of the attacks that these cartels could do. But these cartels was calling the state capital, right, in Mexico, like, yo, you better call your dogs off. You know better. That's what you ain't. If y'all haven't been on the news, right, caught up. If you haven't been on the news and caught up, these Mexican cartels are calling the president's office like B word. You better call your goddamn dogs off, or you know what's about to happen. Right? They already threatening people's family members. Like they not playing about what just happened. But the problem with these cartels is like, look, you take out the leader, you take out the main leaders, you're just going to cut off the head of the Leviathan, and it's going to grow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more heads. So you're not really solving the problem. Look, America, I'm about to solve the problem for you. Hold on real quick. I got it right on the board. I'll be right there. Give me a second. I'll turn y'all back around. But I'm about to solve this problem for you. Let me write this down because I don't want y'all to see what I'm going to write just yet. We're going to solve this problem right now. If you want to get rid of the cartels and you want to get rid of crime, legalize drugs. Some of you not going to like that solution, but legalize drugs is the solution. Because when you legalize drugs, then your country takes over. It takes over presidents. I'm too close to this goddamn thing. Can I move this back? I can. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Um, Legalizing drugs gives the power back to the country. When you legalize drugs, you take power away from these cartels. You see the cycle? You legalize drugs, it takes the power away of the cartel, right? There's no more, they don't have no more financial power, and then they can't form to be such a monster if we legalize drugs. And the thing about legalizing drugs that it has benefits as well as it'll be lower amount of users. Like my theory is this that we legalize drugs, you're gonna have exponential growth. You know, you're gonna have people using drugs just because it's a fun thing to do and it's new. But really, in all actuality, things are gonna balance out, and that the curvature will go down in the use of drugs because drugs are legal and because we know the effects of drugs. But also, as we're seeing with marijuana right now, you can control the potency. You can control the potency of the drug, right? When you legalize it on a governmental level, on a national level, on a federal level. So you take away the power of the cartel, you possibly lower the amount of users, which that's a theory, but you're more than likely you're going to lower the amount of users because people, like I said, they're going to do it for fun. They're going to be doing it because it's just legal, whatever. But then you're going to see the reverse effect and you're going to see less people using it, right? Because of drugs are not good for you. That's why. And then, you know, the you can control the potency, right? So you can control the potency, you can manufacture, you can synthetic it, whatever. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic. But that's what I got to say about these Mexican cartels and how to solve that particular situation. But what I would say is that the United States is foolish to and then the Mexican government is just not as good as well. They're kind of with me. They're just soft. They don't want to do anything really, but like I just think that it should have been strategized better. Not that they shouldn't have did with the action that they did, but they should have strategized it better. Whatever. Anyways, let's go over to the next topic. So Trump assassination attempt. So as you may have heard, that it's being quietly swept under the rug, though. Trump on Mar-a-Lago was infiltrated. Somebody had a shotgun and a gas tank. Now, we don't know if they were trying to assassinate Donald Trump, but we can assume that that may be what they were trying to do. They're not supposed to be on the property. And Secret Service and local police took this person out. They just shot them down. And so we have another assassination attempt on Trump. But when they showed the picture, where's my green marker? When they showed the picture of the man who they shot down, it was another white guy. And this white guy looks like a teacher. He looks like a normal white dude that you see regular everyday society, right? Going to get his coffee or whatever. So my question to you, family, is what part of our society in America is trying to what group in our society in America is trying to kill Trump? What is Trump doing right now that people are still trying to kill him? Now he just got a big stop in the courts. They stopped his tariffs, even though he put a national, he used something else to put out a 15% tariff on every country, but he got stopped in the courts, right? But who is still trying to kill Trump to this day? Still trying to assassinate him. Now Iran said that they were going to send somebody to assassinate Trump, but I don't know how skilled their people are. I don't know if they would make those same type of mistakes that this dude that got killed at Mar-a-Lago did. But he's a white dude, and he's like a really normal looking white dude. So it makes you question, like, what kind of internal battle is going on in America? Because this internal battle is going to end up leading us to, hold on one second, fam. I'm gonna show you what's gonna lead us to. It's gonna end up leading to civil war. And the Epstein files also is going to take us there for sure. But the civil war is going to happen because whatever these factions are that are battling with each other within the United States, based off of whatever it is, it's going to end up leading us to civil war. Because we're not going to keep allowing these things to keep happening, and these things that are being held with from us, the secrets, right? They're going to be, for those who just came in, I just wanted you to see the little thing I did, but yeah, these things are going to happen. But anyways, let's move on from that topic. I just wanted to put that in there. You guys pretty much heard that. It's not that super important. The Big Food Channel says, yeah, the greatest country that never was. Hey, you're not wrong about that, brother. You're not wrong about that. I love this country, though. I'm going to stand on business when it's time for this country because, people are going to give up on America when shit hits the fan here in America. People are going to be running left and right. They're going to be trying to escape. I'm going to see opportunity. I'm gonna be optimistic about the situation. We about to take the land and take the territory and re-establish it and build a new kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. Okay, right here on Turtle Island, where everything is gonna be fair and just. Right, that's what we're gonna do. But anyways, I want to talk to you guys about a new movie called Mercy. I just watched this movie the other day. It was a very, very good movie. Yeah, bro, but the whole world doesn't like the U.S. except Americans. That's what I'm saying. When we go through, for Big Food Channel, if you're still listening, if we go through this is opportunity. Now, I know you guys. That's why I need a stand, everybody. I need donations so I can get my podcast shit set up straight. I need a stand so I don't drop the phone. Okay, guys, I'm back. Thank you. Okay, if we go through this, it's opportunity. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be a reestablishment of America. And we need good people. Hopefully, Big Food Channel, you're a good person. Hopefully, you're one of those people. Because when we reestablish America, when we reestablish democracy, it's going to be different. This time, it's going to work. It's going to be balanced. And everybody's going to be happy. Not only in the United States, but in the world. And it says, but bro, I don't have nothing about the citizens. What you mean? Because I think that's an incomplete sentence. Big Food Channel 3585. What did you mean? But bro, I don't have nothing about the citizens. What do you mean by that? Anywho, you're gonna see a change of guard when the Civil War happens, if and when it happens. I mean, I feel like it's gonna happen though. We're getting closer and closer to it. But anyways, let's move on. Oh, Nessa 9119. Other countries are jealous though because our country has freedom, resources, big military. Yeah, Nessa, really, that military part is the most important part. Circle that. We have freedom because our military establishes freedom. We have resources because our military establishes resources, whether we take it by force as we did in Venezuela, which I don't commend. I don't think that was right. But Nessa 9119 has a point. Our resources, our freedoms, our culture, everything. But you got to remember something, Nessa. Although people may be jealous of that, they also don't like it, right? Because the Western world is so different from the rest of the world. The rest of the world is still very, very, very traditional. Even the women are very traditional. The men are very traditional. The old law still reigns in these other countries or in other parts of the world. The old law being meaning like these very traditional ways of doing things in life. And the United States, as you know, has become very, very untraditional. The United States has become, the Bible calls United States Babylon, the whore. The Bible has become like a whore, and it wants everybody to whore with it, right? It wants everybody to lay down with it in bed, right? That's what the United States is. We want everybody in the world to lay in bed with us and to fornicate with us. Now, when I say that, I don't say that in a way that I mean actual sex. I mean in business, right? In business, there's a term called getting in bed with another person, and basically meaning that you're in business together and that y'all are fornicating business wise, right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like the we are the ones that whore around the world, teaching everybody things that wouldn't normally be taught, right? We're the Babylon, we're the whore, right? America is. Specifically, you want a specific example? I'll give you a specific example. America runs around the globe teaching everybody to be LGBTQ and transgender and all this stuff. Everywhere else in the world still goes by old law where we're not putting up with with any of that stuff. We're going by what God said. You know what I mean? There's a woman, there's a man, and that's that, right? But in America, there's pronouns now. You got to get somebody's pronouns right. You know what I mean? Even though that person may clearly be a man, even though that person may clearly be a woman, you better get their pronouns right or your ass will end up in court. Okay? That's a fact. And America is one of the only places that you can sue somebody, and when you win, if you win, that lawsuit takes place and stands and holds. You sue people in other countries, I mean, what are you going to do to them? How are you going to enforce it? You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that's great about our country, but also that is bad about our country as well. What I like to speak about before I get back into mercy, let me write this on the board really quickly, guys. I'm just going to switch this over to my face quickly. But I want to talk about something that I didn't get to talk about just yet. Sorry. I need a camera stand. Please invest in me, y'all. Invest in the podcast. Let's see. So, okay. I got you guys. So before we get into our last topic, I definitely wanted to talk about this. It's not in the title but the Somalis in Minnesota, right? Let me just put, I think I spelled right. Those are N's, not M's, even though they look like M's. Anyways, the Somalis in Minnesota just did a press conference. Oh, speaking of which, let me go back to this real quick. So, Big Food Channel 3585 says, I have nothing against citizens. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, bro. We don't have nothing against you. At least the normal citizens in America don't have nothing against anybody else in America and other countries. Anyways, the Somalis, a big group of them, the ones that have been come down with all these fraud allegations, right? That they were running fraud scams, daycare fraud scams, and all types of fraud scams because we were giving them free money, we were giving them amnesty. They have come over here and they said that they need reparations for their treatment because of what ICE did and such and such and such and such. Now, the only thing I agree with them about is that the lives that were taken need to be held accountable for. The lives that were taken need to be held accountable for. I do agree with that. As far as everything else, the Somali population needs to fall back. First of all, the only people in America that are getting reparations are Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. That's it. Y'all have gotten supposedly over $18 billion. $18 billion supposedly. Y'all got reparations unintentionally. Ain't no more reparations getting issued out. Supposedly y'all scammed $18 billion. from the United States government to open these fake businesses in which they're saying that some of this money that y'all were scamming possibly went to terror cells and all that. Look, I don't care about all that. I don't really know. There's no way to prove it. That I have means to be able to prove it. And more than likely, it may be true. It may be true, right? How can it be true? Let me give you an example. Somebody's over here, that's Somali. They got people back home, and they send somebody money that might need money, but though that person they send money is involved with the crew out there that's doing terroristic things. So there you go. Like they may not directly be sending money to the terrorist organizations. They may just be sending money to their family members um, that are back home, but they may be a part of or attached to, affiliated with those terror organizations. But when it comes to reparations for Somalis, look, I think that y'all know that if you're not here appropriately, that Mr. Trump and the rest of American people, that's why Trump got elected, really, to get people out of the country, um, because it actually hurts our country when we let immigrants here that are not going through our system of being let over here, right? It actually hurts our country. And I'm gonna do a podcast on to show how it hurts our country. I'm gonna do the economics of it and how it hurts our country. I'm still working on that though. But you know, I just think that it's very entitled to ask us for money, and we helped you guys get saved from your country. There were those people over there were killing their own people in Somalia. Those people were killing their own people in Somalia. They were kidnapping girls and things like that. Like, it was just completely out of control. And a lot of those people came as refugees, and they are able to make a better life for themselves. It's better than maybe it was. I mean, you don't have to watch your back. The police are protecting you, right? You don't have to watch your back. The police are protecting you. I don't know who Sam NN8 So is, but I'm gonna. It sounds negative what you saying. So we're gonna hide you from the channel because I don't know what you're saying. We don't want to see the negativity. But the Somalis do not deserve reparations. The only thing I agree with is that they do. We need to be accountable for the lives that were taken. Somalis and Ethiopians and pretty much any East African, for the most part, they're very peaceful people, except for in their own countries to their own people, obviously. But they're pretty peaceful people. I know a lot of them over here. They're very peaceful people. They don't want problems. They don't really speak a lot. So, I think that the lives that were taken from that community, yeah, there needs to be some accountability for that. But reparations, no. No reparations, none. Yeah, that's not even gonna happen. Um, okay, this is probably the most important topic that we're gonna talk about on this particular channel, on this particular show. Like I said, there's a new movie with Brett, Pat. You know the guy. He plays. He's in a lot of movies. Dang, everybody. Let me see if I can look his name up. Pratt, man, if my ex-girlfriend was here, because she knows all the actors. All I had to do was look at her. She would have been able to tell me. Christopher Pratt. I seen her tell me just now in my head. I miss you, by the way. Christopher Pratt. Chris Pratt. I think that's his name, Chris Pratt. He's in this movie. He's the main character. And this movie is about an AI judge. And basically, in the future, there are no police like talking about. There are police, but not like talking about. And there's a lot of like drones that they will hunt you down, these drones, right? They'll capture you, hunt you down, they'll kill you, they have permission to kill. But our new court of law is an AI judge, and you go before a judge who's an AI, woman or man. You go before this judge, and you get judged, and if you plead not guilty, which he did, he basically was framed to that he killed his wife. He didn't kill his wife. Um, but this AI judge, if you plead not guilty, it gives you 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half to prove yourself not guilty. You only get 90 minutes to prove yourself not guilty. And the good thing about it is that the AI judge gives you full access to pretty much all her abilities and resources to prove yourself innocent. But the movie was very interesting because if Chris Pratt, if his character couldn't, if he didn't, he basically didn't know that his wife died. And when he found out his wife died, he was shocked. But then he was even more shocked to know that everybody thought that he did it and that he's being accused for doing it. And so he had to fight through emotion to defend himself because he was going to die. So basically, any type of murders, I think, in this part of our future, in our history, is considered capital punishment, and you're gonna, you get killed right away. And so, within 90 minutes, you're judged and sent to your death, right? If you're convicted. So, I was watching this movie, and I'm just like, yo, this movie is crazy good. It was a really good movie. Like it really was. It was a very good movie. But the problem with this movie is that, yo, if they do this in the future, like if can you imagine? They're already talking about AI taking all of our jobs and us being replaced by, robotics and just all this stuff. But now we're gonna go to the next degree and we're gonna go and elect AI to be our judge. And so Chris Pratt in the movie, like, he was using a lot of his like instinct and intuition, which AI doesn't have instinct or intuition. And so when he was challenging the AI, it would malfunction because it is not able to think in a rational way that comes from untangible evidence. What does that mean? Meaning that if the evidence is not tangible, video, physical evidence, voice, whatever, if you don't have tangible physical evidence, but you just have a hunch or you just have a belief that this is this and that's that, the AI can't compute that. And so it malfunctioned on Chris Pratt. But he ended up proving that he wasn't guilty. They end up finding out that it was somebody that's close to the family. That person was doing it basically because they set the dude up because basically he locked up the guy's brother who was killed by, he was the first person killed by the AI judge. Like I said, you only got 90 minutes to prove yourself innocent. And so the guy was so distraught that for 2 years he planned to set up his friend and kill his wife and basically blow up the judicial system where the AI sits. So I don't know. I think you guys should watch this movie. It's scary in the sense that, in the future, we may have AI judges, that computerized judges they're not human, that judge us and that sentence us. And we should be very, very, like, we should be, yeah, we need to really, really get a hold of what we're doing with AI. We need to slow down. Um, we need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Anyways, family, I just wanted to get up here shortly and talk with you guys about some of these topics that's happening because they're very interesting and they're leading towards a very troubling future. Always appreciate everybody that watched the channel, that likes the channel, and subscribe to the channel. Lifestyle here, child of God. Peace.